For a long time, I thought the root of my fitness goals was hidden beneath hours and hours of exercising. Sure, it's great, it helps with toning and so many other benefits. However, some days you feel tired, don't have time to exercise, or just aching and not in the mood. When you begin to not see results, you start to wonder, what is it that I'm doing wrong? What is it that I'm not focusing on enough? I quickly learned that only 20% of the results that we see were actually contributed to exercise. 80% is food and other sources. Which is why it was so important for me to polish up that 80% and really find out what that 80% is. It took me a long time to realise that actually hormones was such a huge catalyst to weight loss just as much as calories were. When on a thigh slimming journey, you want to make sure that your hormones are balanced because stress can be a major catalyst to us wanting to eat more and more and having extremely large cravings. When we're stressed, we're more likely to make unhealthy food choices. We're more likely to want to crave more because it ignites the craving hormone. It doesn't allow our body to ignite the hormone that tells us that we're full and sends the message to the body. Removing stresses out of my life, whether it's school, people around me, or anything like that, is so important to be on a thigh slimming journey and to actually be able to make healthier choices and feel more positive. Next, I really wanted to take into consideration the types of food that I was eating. For example, our bodies are amazing and do so many amazing digestive processes. I know it can feel so disheartening when we are convinced our metabolism is extremely slow, but also the foods we eat help aid the body in making our metabolism more efficient. And McDonald's is not going to help our metabolism in the same way as other foods. For example, fiber and protein are one of those things that you really want to increase when going on a thigh slimming journey. I knew that people can lose 30% more weight when eating more protein, so I used this during my journey and I made sure that I was incorporating it. Not only this, but sometimes I can feel like my weight loss is stuck and not moving and my thighs are not going down at all. Increasing foods such as fiber allow me to see that it actually helps everything move in the body. Fiber is one of those things that allows the body to digest and process things a lot better. Not seeing results, if my weight loss is stuck, maybe just nothing is moving. Salt not only is the cause for our water retention, our bloating, our body looking bigger or feeling bigger, such as shorts or jeans not fitting the same way they did a couple of days ago, even though nothing's changed. But also it interferes with our digestive system. Our body doesn't cope very well with high amounts of salt, especially when it wants to digest the food and push it through the body. As you know, I always like to make sure that I'm burning fat and not just losing water weight. Now, I have heard so much about the keto diet and I've tried it before in the past, but now I realise that I wasn't doing it properly because you have to stay under a certain amount of carbohydrates. That way your body starts to burn fat instead of carbs for energy. It's all down to the types of foods that you're eating, which enables your body to actually do this process and go into what's called ketosis. Keto Cycle app is something that's really helping me with this because, again, like I say, I needed a guideline, I needed somewhere to start, and the Keto Cycle app kindly sponsored this video, and I'm going to show you guys a little bit about how it works. Now with the app, you basically start off by doing a little bit of a quiz. You put in your goal weight, you put in your current weight, and I love that because it then calculates for you what sort of macros and nutrients you need daily in order to get to your goal weight. It tells you how long you're going to get there, how long it's going to take for you to get there. Now the app then tailors your meals. It shows you what to eat breakfast, dinner and lunch and snacks in order to lose weight. Imagine that you have your daily macros and nutrients calculated especially for you. The app gives you a keto assistant to cover workouts, nutrition, motivation and tracking. The workout doesn't require any gym, supplements or any gear. There is currently a special offer which is $1.25 per week if you're paying annually. Click the link in my description box or the pinned comment to get 20% off all subscription plans using the discount code Kimberly20. Hello friends, so I'm going to talk you through the process and how it worked for me and some key things that you should be focusing on in order to get to your result. I know that for me at times when either I have a stomach ache or I just know my body just feels exhausted and I really don't have the time in order to do so. Now I'm going to give you a new concept that you probably haven't put into consideration. Give you guys the method on focusing on hormones rather than calories. I'm going to go into both, but first of all I'm going to give you hormones. If you want to go on this journey, if you want to do this process, especially when it comes without exercise, is you're going to want to look at your hormones, which means eliminating stress. You want to really eliminate your stress levels. Getting rid of thigh fat really does have a lot to do with hormones. The less stressed you are, the happier you will be, and the less stressed you are, the happier you'll be, and the more balanced your hormones will be. And this can come in so many different forms, whether that's at the workplace or at college, university, at school, or just people in your day-to-day life that are causing you this stress. It's really important, especially if you want to focus on getting rid of thigh fat. Crucial things that I realised in my weight loss journey is that the more balanced and happier you are, the easier it is to actually lose weight. I've realised over the past and now looking back, a massive catalyst to me not being able to lose weight was having those stresses, and you know, these ignite our hunger levels, our craving levels, our sugar levels are so ignited and tied on to stress. So when it comes to the process, we're actually able to see a lot more clearly when our hormones are balanced and the processes happen a lot more effectively. As I've briefly touched on, 80% of our weight loss journey, especially our thigh slimming journey for example, will come down to food, and 20% is exercise, which is why I say to people, if you feel like your body, you know, might be in a lot of pain so you can't exercise, or you might be exhausted or not have the time in order to exercise, 80% is down to food. When our hormones are less imbalanced and are stressed, we're less likely to be able to make the healthier food choices. We're going to want to reach for unhealthy choices in order to cope. We use it a lot of the time as a coping mechanism, so it's really, really important to look into this and bear this in mind on how you can really go about balancing that. I think that's really, really important in terms of weight loss, is actually getting enough sleep. You guys have all known that our bodies do most of the processing overnight, and it, you know, rejuvenates itself, does the metabolic processes, burns fat, all these other types of things. If you want it to be doing it efficiently, then you need to be making sure you get at least 7 hours of sleep a day. This is so important because the better you sleep, the more energized you are, the happier you are. It tends to be your day-to-day ends up being more productive if that is the case. If you're stressed, you're probably only going to get 3 hours of sleep when, you know, realistically you thought you had 7. Your body only probably went into deep sleep for about 2. So really bearing that in mind, how that can impact on your thigh slimming journey is immensely, and it's something worth putting into consideration. Really, really want to make your process easier. You really want to focus on getting your quality sleep. It makes it so much easier, and this is something I learned along my journey, and it's really important. Now guys, bearing in mind the alternatives make up 80% of the process and 20% is exercise. Now, tip number 2 is your salt intake. Now, salt intake is the water retention that we see on the scales as to why have we gained weight. It's the bloating. It's the when you're on holiday and you're drinking more fluids, you might feel like you've gained weight because your body feels a lot bigger, but really it's just a lot of water retention. Now, again, this has a major catalyst and impact in your journey. When you're retaining all this fluid, retaining all this water, you can feel heavier, but it actually helps with your digestive system, and it's one of those main things that is so important to look at when you're thinking and considering and picking out your foods. Just as much as you would look at sugar, salt is one of those that is really, really important to put into consideration. Increase your fiber and protein. Now, a lot of the time when we're on a journey or we're eating new foods and our body is now just adjusting to this new way of eating, it can be very clogged up and nothing seems to be moving. That's why sometimes we'll have a weight loss stop, or we just don't feel like we're seeing any results. Sometimes we need to allow and help our body to push things out of the systems. The foods that do this and aid this better are fiber and protein. When you're focusing on these within your weight loss journey, on your thigh slimming journey, they're very important to get everything pushing, and without being too TMI, it helps you go to the loo. This is really important because even though our body's amazing and can do these digestive processes, imagine certain foods really, really help those processes happen, and a McDonald's is not really going to help in the same way as increasing your fiber and protein. So bear that in mind when you want to start seeing results based on your digestive and getting everything out of your system. Now next, you're going to want to put some of these following foods into consideration. And number 1 is your carbohydrates. There are 2 different types of carbohydrates, and that is your fast carbs and your slow carbs. Slow carbs are going to be so much easier in keeping satiety, keeping yourself full, because they go through the body a lot slower, so they're present. Whereas the fast carbohydrates kind of get out a bit quicker and can spike your craving levels so much faster. Now guys, I hope this has helped you out a lot. Remember, it's all about using the concept of what is your foods. Are they helping you stay full? Are you looking at what's increasing your cravings, what's decreasing your cravings, all these other things, and also what is causing you stress? When we're on a journey, it's really, really important to have that clear mind, to have that clear outlook and mindset, because this really helps us in not only seeing success, not only our digestive system, not only our body processing this new change, it can fully process these things and have a more successful outcome for you when you put all these things balanced and into consideration. Now, you guys have seen my thigh slimming journey, so it's been amazing to show you guys the different ways that you can do it, because I have had weeks and weeks on end sometimes where I can't exercise, I don't feel great, or my body might be aching or anything like that, and I've still seen changes along the way. Now, don't forget to track your progress down below so you can let me know. Give this video a massive thumbs up, turn your bell notifications on to get notified every single time that I upload. Don't forget to come over and follow my inspirational fitness page on Instagram, as well as my podcast page as well. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you guys very, very soon. Bye guys!